Hi everyone, I'm Atura Patricia Vivian, and today we shall dive into more key strategy components and how they boost your success. So let's watch and see. In our last video, we talked about identifying key concepts, selection of search terms, use of Boolean operators. So today we come with more three, where we have phrase searching, filters and limits, then truncation and wildcards. So please, let's move together. So we start with our introduction. Once again, I'm Atura Patricia Vivian, bringing more search strategy components to you. So we look at more. Last time we looked at three, so now I come with more three, where I have truncations and wildcards. We have phrase searching, then filters and limits. So briefly, we shall talk about those three. So now we shall start with phrase searching. That is one of our components for today's video. So let's sit and learn. So what is phrase searching? What is it all about? Here we are seeing that phrase searching encloses terms in double quotation marks to search for exact phrases. So now this ensures that words appear together in the specified order. So instead of treating each word separately, so phrase searching comes in to ensure that words appear together in the exact order specified. And in this, if you look at most search engines, for example, Chrome, maybe Google, same thing as Chrome, you find that these search engines, they recognize quotation marks as an indicator for phrase searching. So now, when you type in your phrase with the quotation marks, the search engine will only return results that contain content in that quoted exact order. So we can look at some examples briefly. I can give an example. This one is in open quotation marks, climate change effects, close quotation marks. They're saying that this statement retrieves results where climate change effects, in quotation marks, appears as a phrase rather than separately, as maybe you would say climate alone, change alone, and effects alone. But if you put them in quotation marks as one statement, then it will retrieve results where everything appears. So now we are looking at phrase searching. But why is it important? Here we are looking at it in the way that it helps to filter out relevant results where words appear separately. You find that when you put your work in phrase searching, maybe in phrases, you find that other things that you don't want, they don't appear. You find that only the work that you want appears because you've quoted it. And again, it reduces the number of unrelated search terms, therefore saving time and making research more efficient. In other words, it saves time. You won't have to type in each statement separately. You just put it in one statement in quotation marks, and that will be saving time. Another thing, it ensures that retrieved information is relevant to the exact topic being researched on. That's why you have put it in quotes, meaning what you're looking for and the information they'll give you, it will be related to the topic you're researching on. So now we proceed. So after looking at this component as one of the components of search strategy, we go and look at another one. We're going to look at filters and limits. What are they? What is their importance in research? Maybe in search strategies, because now that one helps you in research, doing assignments, courseworks. So we start with filters. And here we are saying that filters narrow down results by applying filters based on criteria such as publication date, study type, language, among others. In this, we mean that these filters help you to focus on the most relevant and specific information. And in this, you find that they save time. They reduce the time spent sifting through irrelevant information. Here, you'll be looking at only the specific information that you want and the one that is only relevant. That's what we shall only look at. So I give an example. For example, in Google Scholar, applying the data filter, e.g. 2020, 2025, it ensures that you only retrieve recent publications relevant to current research, meaning you only receive information between 2020 and 2025. Outside that, you will not receive it. So now the thing is filters and limits. So now we look at limits. In these limits, we find that these functions, they are similar to filters, but for them they're often applied before research is conducted. Before you start doing your research, you first apply them. So now we see that they restrict the scope of a search from the beginning to prevent retrieving excess results. In this, you'll find that you'll only get the results you want. Outside that will be excess results. So they will help you before you starting your research. You have to first know the limits and how they'll help you. And that will be the best thing to do. So now we look at the examples. What are the examples of limits? So one example, we look at some of the examples here. Number one is saying that for the limits, use specific and precise keywords to avoid broad and focused results. Those are the limits. That's what you have to put into consideration before starting your research. Another point is that use Boolean operators to limit your search results. And another one, searching within specific fields, such as the title, author, or abstract. For example, searching from AI in the title field only. Those are the limits you have to know before research is conducted. So we look at our third. Before looking at our third component, we can give an example of a use case here. For example, in a library database, applying a limit to peer-reviewed journals ensures that only academic and scholarly articles appear in search results. So we have been talking about filters and limits. So we look at the third component, where we have truncations and wildcards. What are truncations? What are wildcards? So let's talk about truncations briefly. What is a truncation? A truncation is a process of shortening a word and using a specific symbol. For example, it can be an asterisk, it can be a question mark, it can be a percentage sign to represent any number of a missing character. And in this, it helps find all variations of a root word. These truncations retrieve different endings of a word. For example, you can type in a word farm in a search engine. You find that it will bring for you many options. It will bring the word farm, to bring farming, to bring farmer. As long as the word starts with farm, it will bring it for you. You can also have the word teacher, teach, where it will bring to you maybe teacher, teaching, teach, and other words that start with the word teach. Here you find that some search engines support truncations, for example, Google, Bing, among others, and these often use automatic stemmings instead for truncations. So let's look at wildcards. What are wildcards? What do they do? We look at them in a way that they address spelling variations. For the wildcards, they replace characters in specific positions. We have different types. We have the single character wildcards, the ones that replace a single character in a specific position. And these are useful when words have fixed length variations. For example, in the British versus American spellings, you find that some spellings differ. In fact, most spellings differ. You find that in American English, they spell the word in another way, and in British English, it is in another way. Another type also have the multi-character wildcards. these replace multiple characters. So that is all about wildcards. That is all about wildcards. You find that what is the importance of limits and filters as one of the components. Find that these filters and limits, they help find the most relevant sources without necessary clutter. Because now you know what to do before doing a research, of course it will be easier for you to find the relevant information sources. And again, these reduce the need to go through thousands of irrelevant results. Thereafter, they save time. And again, they ensure that only high quality, relevant, and credible sources are included. That is all for filters. Today we have looked at filters and limits. We have looked at phrase searching. We have also looked at truncations and wildcards. These components, phrase searching, filters and limits, truncations and wildcards, they are essential tools for refining search results and ensuring accuracy. However, effective search involves not only those exact phrases, but also the other components we have talked about and more we're still looking at. So in the next session, we'll explore more of the search strategy components, helping us to further to optimize our search results. Thank you so much for listening. We'll meet in the next video where we shall continue with our components of search strategies, how they work, their importances, and others. Till we meet, bye bye.